In the German language, sometimes the tiniest details can make a world of difference. Today, we're going to look at two words that are separated by just two little dots, an umlaut, but they mean completely different things. So just look at these two words, zahlen and zählen. I mean, they look almost exactly the same, right? So how much of a difference can two little dots really make? Well, let's dive in and find out. Okay, first up, we've got zahlen, no dots. This word puts us squarely in the world of money. Think transactions, finance, all that good stuff. At its heart, the definition couldn't be simpler. Zahlen just means to pay. Honestly, it's one of the most practical verbs you'll ever need to know. Think about it. Anytime money leaves your wallet or your bank account, this is the word. You'd sign your bills, you'd sign the rent, you'd sign your taxes. And hey, when you're on a nice vacation, you'd sign for that coffee in Vienna. It's all about paying for something. Here it is in a super common everyday sentence. Ich zahle die Miete jeden Monat. It just perfectly captures that regular, predictable act of paying for something you need. All right, now for the magic trick. Let's add those two little dots, and zahlen becomes zählen. And just like that, we've left the world of money, and we've stepped right into the world of numbers. So, the main, most basic meaning of zählen is to count. Simple enough, right? 1, 2, 3, you get the picture. You can zählen just about anything. You can count numbers, you can count items on a list, you can count the people in a room. And my personal favorite, we all zählen the days until the weekend. A really basic example, something you might even teach a kid, is Ich zähle bis 10. I count to 10. This is zählen at its most literal. But if that's all there was to it, this would be a pretty short explainer, wouldn't it? It turns out zählen has this whole other, deeper side to it. And this is where it gets really interesting. Zählen also has this more abstract meaning. It's about what counts in the sense of what's important, what's considered valid, or what belongs to a certain group. So we've shifted from this simple act of counting numbers to this much bigger idea of what has value, of what has significance. It's really about what matters. Oh, you hear this one all the time. Imagine you're playing a board game and somebody tries to cheat. You'd immediately say, das zählt nicht. That doesn't count. It's not about numbers there. It's about whether the move is valid. And here's an even more powerful example. Zählt zu den besten Lehrern. This means he is counted among the best teachers, or he's considered one of the best. He belongs to that top group. See how much weight that carries? Okay, so let's do a final tally here and put these two words side by side one last time just to make it absolutely crystal clear. So, on one side you have zahlen, to pay. It's all about money. And on the other side, you have zählen, to count, or to be considered. It's about numbers, for sure, but it's also about value and significance. And this brings us to a fantastic, kind of witty summary that just nails the whole thing. You always have to zahlen, but not everything zählt. I love that. You always have to pay your bills, but not everything in life actually counts or truly matters. So here's the bottom line. That tiny little umlaut is incredibly powerful. It literally changes the meaning of the word from a simple transaction to this big idea of significance, from money to what matters. It just makes you appreciate how intricate language can be, right? So here's a final thought for you. What's the most powerful little detail, like a tiny accent mark or a comma or a couple of dots that you've ever come across in a language? Something to think about.